Many of you may wonder what this is. This here is a hangboard. It's used for many things. Among them is building up your finger strength for rock climbing. I made this using a CNC machine. Now, if you, like many others, don't know what a CNC machine is, it is a machine where a computer controls it. In this case, I used a CNC router. CNC machines have been around for a long time. They started fairly simple, with punch cards, just little pieces of paper with holes punched in them that control how the machine moves. And as technology has progressed, so has CNC machining.
How did I do it? Well, I started with the design, the first step of anything involving a CNC machine. I started with a rough sketch on paper, and then I moved to a CAD software, CAD meaning computer-aided design. The one I used was called VCarve. It is a very common software for CNC machines because of its capability and its ease of use. In case you're wondering, that is a laser cutter. It is a type of CNC machine, but it's not the one I'm going to be talking about today. Now let's get into the how-to bit. I will not explain how to make a hangboard. Rather, I will explain how to use a CNC machine in general. We first open up the software, in my case, VCarve. Then we set the size of the part with the length, width, depth, and height. Now we'll explain how you draw the part with the software. I apologize for not getting closer, but fortunately there's not a lot to see. On the left side of the screen, you will see icons indicating circles, lines, squares, etc. You then use those to draw out the part by clicking them and dragging out the shapes. Now we can add the tool paths to the part. What are tool paths? They are the route the CNC machine will take to cut the part. On the right side of the screen, there are a few options for tool paths types. Among them, profile. Profile is the most commonly used one. When you select this, the machine will cut out the area inside the shape you drew to the depth you chose. In my case, I used profile to cut out the slots I put my fingers in. To use it, you'll select all the shapes that you want to do the profile cut on, and then you'll select profile, as well as the bit you're going to use and the depth you're going to cut to. Now we have the file saved on the computer, but having it saved in VCarve will not cut it. We need to have the file saved as a type the machine will understand. In most cases, we use G-code or general code. This tells the machine the locations it has to travel to and at what speeds it needs to do that to cut the part. You'll find this option at the bottom right side of the screen under the tool paths. Now it's time to prep the machine materials. CNC machining is a subtractive manufacturing process. This means we remove the material to make the part, which means we need the material to start off with. In my case, I used a 2x10. The next step may seem trivial, but it is very important to do it right. This is clamping the wood to the machine. You have to make sure you clamp it in positions that the machine will not travel to, otherwise you'll end up knocking the clamps off, and that you clamp the wood tight enough so that the machine does not come off on its own. Now we can prepare the machine's software. This step is very easy. We open the software, then click Open File, and open the G-code we've saved earlier. Now we are ready to run it. You have to make sure that it doesn't break anything while it's doing this, and that it does not run too fast and potentially cause a fire, or too slow that you waste your time. CNC manufacturing is very fast when compared to other forms of manufacturing. This took me 20 minutes on an entry-level machine, but on commercial machines it could be finished in a few minutes. Now with some minimal prep, we can set this up to attach it to the wall. And there you have it. Using a CNC machine is not all that complicated. And hopefully now you have the know-how to make something cool or useful yourself.